We made it. Another week.
We're here, live from my car. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Thank you for joining us on the premier Geek podcast, OZ and the Freak, Talk Geek. I'm OZ.
And I'm the Freak. And we're talking about Free Comic Book Day 2025. Good old FCBD.
Can't
And
wait.
for those
It's
of
one of my
y'all,
favorite holidays of the year.
yeah, those that don't know, FCBD or Free Comic Book Day happens the first Saturday of May every year, in which it's pretty much a huge promotion to promote people to go to comic book shops, get free comic books, and hey, you know what? You're here at a comic book shop, you're getting free comics. Why not browse around at all the other stuff, right?
Sure.
So
Exactly.
it's a real big marketing deal that I love. There's always some. I will say this: there's a lot of really bad comics on Free Comic Book Day, but there's also some fucking gems.
Oh, yeah.
And this year, I actually had more gems than I think I'm probably used to getting.
Well, that's
So
awesome.
pretty awesome. I only managed to get out to a couple of shops, and the reason for that is because the local shop service locator website. I looked up places that were around my house, and it said that most of the shops around me were not doing it Saturday the 3rd. Instead, they were doing it Saturday, May 4th, which was
Sunday.
May the 4th be with you, Sunday. So they were just kind of combining them together according to the site. So Saturday came and it was around noon. And I was like, fuck it, let me start calling some places and see what they're doing. They're like, yeah, we've been doing it all day. And I was like, shit, the website said otherwise. And they're like, yeah, I did that last year too. And it pissed a lot of people off. So it's not them, it's not the comic shop. It was the website because it had done it to multiple places too and it screwed it up. And by the time I got to the first place, all they had was just a couple of things left over.
Right.
The second place I got to actually had a lot. I called around some other places and they're like, this is all I got. I only have a handful of stuff. And I'm like, well, it's already things I've already got. So wasn't able to get as much as I wanted to get, but I did get a pretty decent handful.
Nice, dude. Nice. So I'm in kind of a weird town. Okay, so I'm in a college town.
Yeah.
And you would think in a college town you would have like a plethora of comic book shops or something like that.
Depends what type of college. Like if it's a tech deal, I might think there's going to be a lot of nerds. But
Right.
like A&M, I wouldn't see like a lot of comic shops around A&M.
So there's only one comic book store around here, but there's like a dozen anime stores. And those anime stores do not practice Free Comic Book Day.
Oh wow, really? They don't.
Yeah, no. So I got one store. However, last year I was looking for other events that maybe something was happening around town, and the big public library for the town does an event for the day.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah. So last year, we went to the library. We got there late because we went to the comic book store first. So we went to the library, and it was pretty much all tapped out. We got there too late, so we didn't get anything.
Okay.
So, but this year, I was like, we're going to go there first, and it was very much a kid centric place. They had in the library itself. They had like one of those what are they called? Those big rooms where they do big meetings at.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Conference room.
A conference room, but it was fucking huge, and they had like inflatable bouncy houses, and they had a stage for doing like Pokemon trivia, and tables were out giving away like stickers and the books and other things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the tables out for the free comic books, which is where I got quite a few books from. Unfortunately, I think this is where I got the majority of last year's books.
so this sounded like that they had a lot of stuff from last year left over that they put out.
They did, and then the other comic book store that I went to, they had just a lot of stuff from last year too. But unfortunately, the because they only allowed you to take 4. I think the 4 books I got
Really?
were the actual free comic book day books from this year.
You know, you got me thinking that. Remember how I told you there were some that I couldn't find
Mhm.
on? So I went onto the actual website, and there's some that I couldn't find. You got me wondering now if these are from last year or not.
Of the ones that you got?
Yeah, the ones that so there's ones I got that I could not find on the website. So you got me curious as to what year this is.
Well, I mean, before we started recording, we went through the
2024.
yeah, all the majority of the ones I have. They're from. Oh, I saw that one.
Barda?
Yeah, that's
Hate,
a Wonder Woman book, right?
hated it. I don't know. It's got some woman named Granny.
Oh, Granny
Granny's
Goodness.
yeah, I hated this. I hated this
She's
so much.
Apocalypse character. Um, or
Well, no,
I wish
she's
I
from
knew.
Apocalypse. Apocalypse is the land,
Yeah,
and
the planet,
they serve dark side. And
Dark
Apocalypse isn't
Side.
spelled Apocalypse; it's spelled like a K,
Yeah. Thanks, Jack Kirby. Um,
right?
but I mean, so and this is also the first year that I did free comic book day without my kids.
Oh,
Um,
see, now I was just going to ask if you did, because you kept
yeah,
saying
no,
we.
no, I
Okay,
wound up. I,
just
I woke up and I was getting ready to go, and I was just going to do it myself. And my girlfriend actually asked me if she just said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going to go get some free comics. It's free comic book day."
mm-hmm.
And she was like, "Oh, well, you want me to come?" And I was like, "Well, fuck yeah, come on, let's go." And she got a couple of the kids books for her little one, for her
Uh-huh.
5-year-old, and it was just fun running around. And but the big surprise that I got, which I kind of wanted to show off, is the library.
Yeah.
When I went to the library, not only were they giving away the comics for free comic book day and stickers and other things like that, they were also giving away graphic novels.
Really?
So they had like older books that weren't being rented out anymore. So they were giving away like tons of manga and tons of graphic novels.
Uh-huh.
And I realized there when we got there, like they had been doing it for like an hour. They still had a ton of books out. And I was like, oh shit. Like there was just so much. And they were like, yeah, take it. And I'm like, yeah, they're like, take as much as you want. I'm like, well, fuck, grab me a box, I'll take it all. And but they were but then I was like, no, if somebody else comes behind me, if somebody else comes behind me and wants some of these books, I would like I'm gonna take some good shit, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take it all. But I could have. They were like, take it, please.
Damn. Now
Um
I'm jelly.
yeah, so like I got like Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, the first volume on the graphic novel.
That's awesome. I like Devil
Right?
Dinosaur.
Right? Uh I got Paul Pope's Battling Boy.
Never heard of it.
Me either, but it looked interesting.
Okay.
Full color. Like this was a $16 book when it was new.
Damn.
We're not done.
But wait, there's more.
The 47 Ronin.
Nice.
Saga.
No idea.
You should read Saga. Saga's been around for years.
Uh-huh.
Go out of your way. I think I already have a copy of this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to confirm, and if I do, this is coming to you. This is so fucking good.
What's it about?
These two aliens from different like warring planets falling in love, and it's It's dirty. It's
Alien Romeo and
craft,
Juliet.
kind of. But then like there's this weird emperor that has a TV for a head. It's fucking weird. There's like
So this is prior to Skibbity Toilet, right?
This is yeah. This is space, sex, and murder.
Okay,
It's really
I'll check
fucking
it
good.
out.
Really fucking good. Let's see what else. Hardback, Skull Kickers,
That looks awesome.
right? Treasure Trove, Volume 1, Skull Kickers.
I
Skull
just like the
Kickers,
name.
two hard-headed mercenaries meet to kill monsters and cause havoc in their search for money, fame, and adventure. Along the way, they'll gore goblins, smash skeletons, punch plant people, and whomp wolverines.
I love it already.
Image Comics.
There you go. Image
Skull
Comics
Kickers.
never fails, man. I love Image.
Yep.
Image for me is up there with Marvel. Yeah, Image for me is up there with Marvel.
Image is a saga too. Couple more.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, this I love the artwork. So it's the Bombshells graphic novel.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever seen this artwork?
I've seen the artwork. Yeah, that We Can Do It.
Yeah, but and it's all the villains and heroes are.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love the artwork, so I gotta get that.
I've heard of Bombshells.
I had when I was still in the apartment. I don't know when I was recording, I had some of the Bombshells pictures behind me when I was on the couch.
I will say, if you did, I don't know.
Don't remember.
Nope.
That's okay. And then
I've slept since then.
God
damn.
2 volumes of Chew.
What is Chew?
Chew is about this detective that, he has to eat the body. He's a detective. He's a homicide detective, and he has to eat a portion of the bodies of the people who died so that he can get his psychic powers to find out how they died.
That is different, but that's cool. I like that.
So I'm actually really glad this happened today, because with Chew and with Saga, and there's another book series I think you would love too. It was called fuck. What is it called? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, to expand your horizon out, to help show you some stuff that's outside of Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
So, and this is like when I was trying to talk up the Energon series stuff with you too.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm liking already. Well, at least from the new one.
Right. That stuff is just so good. I'm digging it. But yeah, dude, I got like 25 pounds of graphic novels for free from the library.
Damn, that's a hell of a score. I'm not gonna lie.
This is the reason. This was the ultimate reason for me to go out for Free Comic Book Day. I didn't know what was going to happen. I'm glad it did. I am so stoked to have some of these and these books that I've never read before. To check them out. And the volumes of Chew I have are volumes 2 and 3. So now I got to hunt for volume 1, because I can't have an incomplete. I can't have an incomplete fucking thing. But yeah, that was my haul from Free Comic Book Day.
So I got about 19 or 18 comics from actual Free Comic Book Day.
2025.
2025. I took out the bar graph. The others say, like Big Rig wasn't on there, but Big Rig does say 2025. However, in what I love to do, it's such a good one.
I can't wait to check it out.
Wait. Okay, yeah. So, another thing that I love to do is I can't go to a place personally and not help out the shop at the same time.
Right.
Like, free comics are fucking amazing. I love free comics, but at the same time, if they're good people, I'm gonna buy something.
Sure.
So, and because I was trying my best, and it kind of got out of hand. I was writing down for each one of them. Okay, for each one, I would write the age, the name of the comic, who it was by the artist and the artist and the writer, the publisher, and then I was also giving each one a ranking system based on uh, art, the story, the likeliness of me continuing to read it. Because to me, I think that's very much, now that's also all of this is just my taste in general.
Sure.
But still, like, and I'm trying to be fair with it. And then I was giving it an overall ranking. And as I'm getting into these, it started to get more and more where each one of these comics are actually 3 and 4 stories from various writers, various artists, and I'm like, holy fuck, dude. It's 19 comics, but when you break it down, there's like 30 something comics here.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, we're just going to do some of this live because
Sure.
I don't have the patience to write all of this down. However, that being said, I bought some comics.
There you go.
So before we get into the comics of Free Comic Book Day, and we were talking about this one very recently, I did get Spider-Man versus Predator.
Nice. That's new.
That's new. This is
That's
new.
the new
So
one.
the Predator versus Spider-Man. Yes. There is a Predator versus Black Panther, and a long time ago there was a Predator versus Wolverine. But turns out a few months ago they released another Predator versus Wolverine. So I'm like, oh, well, I'm gonna have to check that. I also purchased Godzilla versus Spider-Man.
Oh, nice.
This is one of the variants.
We talked about this, didn't we?
We talked a little bit about this.
That's Ben Riley.
Yeah. So, and this is one of the incentive comics. It's this isn't the regular one.
Right. That's the one that's got
so I bought the regular
Hollow's
one.
Eve. Nice. Nice.
For the art. And this was mostly for the art because I'm not necessarily the biggest Fantastic Four fan.
Grab up Fantastic Four while you can. Holy shit.
Godzilla
Nice.
versus Fantastic Four, and it's a chrome cover.
Oh, that's new. Yeah, that's new too.
Yeah.
That's fantastic, dude.
Oh yeah. Dude, that thing
Got
is
your
like
kaiju
glorious.
and
Got
comics,
this.
man.
I got my kaiju, I got my comics, and I got my Spider-Man because I'm all about that Spider-Man.
Hell yeah, dude.
For the missus, but at the same time also for me, because the missus came out with me.
Begrudgingly.
And she begrudgingly kind of at first, but then she actually had a lot of fun and enjoyed it.
Nice.
Now, there's a part of me where I like very macabre comic books. I like comic books about serial killers. I like comic books about horror and gore, like Faust and a bunch of others, gory sex type shit, but tasteful at the same time.
Oh yeah, sure.
So I got Witch's Tales, Mummies, Witch's Claws, and the Demon from Beyond.
Is that new?
No, these are very old.
Oh, these old ones. Oh, great.
Yeah, these are old.
These are like pulp comics.
Yes.
Oh, fucking A, dude. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I love these art styles so much. And then I also got Terror Tales.
Bro, I love those kind of. I love that. I love that. I love it completely.
The only issue I have with these is they don't fit in my comic boxes because
they're bigger.
They're bigger.
They're magazine size.
That's edge to edge right here. You got a good almost 2 inches over here. So they're bigger comics, but they're fun. They're so much fun.
Can I give you a suggestion of what to do with those?
I put them sideways, like So you know how the boxes are long? I usually put them on the sides of the comics.
Can I give you another suggestion?
You may.
Frame them and put them on the fucking wall.
I like
Frame
the
them.
idea. I like the idea.
Frame them and put
We
them on the wall, dude.
we have a whole lot of stuff that we have to hang up first, and then
But
I have to decide if I'll have room.
but those can be mixed in with all the rest of your shit. Now, if I remember correctly, your entire fucking house is covered in Halloween decorations.
Pretty much, yeah. This is the only room that's not horror.
Those books would be fantastic, like mixed in with your
They
shit.
would, especially because we have a macabre wall, where it's just all sorts of macabre art and everything. I would I it's got to pass the boss's inspection and permission first, because she's in charge of decorating the rest of the house. I have full authority and control over everything in this room. The rest of the house goes through the boss lady.
Okay, that's fine. I get it.
So
But I have a couple of books that I have specifically just to frame because I love the
yeah.
cover art. Like going out of my way to get the cover art for that I love is not financially feasible for me. But if I can find an old floppy, throw it in a frame, nice.
So I do want to give a special shout out. The West Road location comic vault. We
I don't
got
think I've been there.
this is on the couch. We got BJ, who was talking my ear off the entire time. He's a really, really cool dude, really enthusiastic. The guy above him is the manager. I want to say his name is Devin, and if it's not, I apologize, dude. I'm sorry that I butchered your name. Originally, I thought his name was Roger, because when I was leaving, I told BJ to hit the names down of people and put it on a card, and I don't know what happened to the card, but he said Roger that. And he pointed over to him, and I was just like, I thought your name was Roger, and he's like, no, I said Roger that, and I was like, this is a whole thing. They gave me some discounts on this. They have some discounts on certain days, which is really cool. Anything in the old back stock, they do like half off on certain days, and other days,
Nice.
subscription boxes. If you do a subscription box, they do like 10 to 15% off of new titles, which is freaking amazing. And their subscription boxes are free. They don't charge for your subscription box. Right. So if I go in there and I start telling them, anything from the Mighty Nine or anything like that's going to be coming out, they'll put it in my box and I'll get a discount on it for free.
Nice.
That's awesome. They're a small local shop. They got 2 locations. The Comic Vault on West Road and Fry Road. And I've been there twice now. They've been the most hospitable. Everybody there is so freaking nice. And I've got nothing but good praises to say about these people here. They even posed for the picture. I took the picture here.
Nice. That's awesome, dude.
I told them I was going to give them a shout out. I really like them. They're going to get some repeat business from me. And keep up the good work, all of y'all over there at the Comic Club.
That's fantastic, dude. Yeah, a lot of comic book shops do have that option of
the subscription box. Yeah,
subscription box. That's what they do. And if it's one and you've had the subscription for a while, you'll get like 10 to 15% off. It's location.
Oh, they do it. They do theirs right away over there, yeah. Which I was like kind of blew me away. Do you remember Odyssey Comics and Katie?
I do.
So I had my subscription
Odyssey
box
cards and comics.
Odyssey cards and comics, correct. Which was cool because he didn't really do too much with comic cards and very little to do with comics. It was mostly sports memorabilia that he had in that store.
Yes, but that wall was covered in comics, and there were some toys in the back.
Yep. And so my first subscription box I ever had was over there at Odyssey Cards and Comics in Katy. I think it was off of like Psalms Road.
Yeah, Fry
and Psalms. And that was my first subscription box. So
it was right across from the Katy Public Library.
Yes, it was. Mm-hmm. So that was my first introduction. I loved it. It was awesome.
Yep, I had a subscription box at 8th Dimension in Cyprus.
So 8th Dimension. 8th Dimension was location 2 that I went to. Now, Eighth Dimension had more merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that they had a lot more merchandise. However, the hospitality wasn't as welcoming. As soon as I walked into the comic vault, BJ was like, "What is up? Like, y'all are here for free comic book day. Let me show you the ropes. This is what we have going on. It's a little late, blah blah blah." And also, I want to thank BJ for one reason. After we talked to him for a little bit, he went to his own private stash and pulled out some of the stuff that was no longer available because they ran out of supplies because I was late, and he gave me a few things from his private stash.
That's nice.
I will say, as I went to other places, I picked up some of the ones that he gave me so that I can give them back to him. I just haven't met up with him yet. I didn't want to take his. I didn't get the Thundercats. He offered it to me, but I got the Godzilla and I got Mega Man from him. I wasn't going to take Thundercats because I'm like, I'm not going to take the greatest things from you, man. So I was
Right.
like, I'll take these two and we'll call it a day. So that's the hospitality of some people kind of going above and
Yeah.
beyond. Like that shit right there, that one little thing that he did,
Mm-hmm.
you got my service, dude. I will be a repeat customer just for that alone.
Nice. I get it,
I
man.
didn't I didn't get that hospitality and that warm invite or anything else when I went to Eighth Dimension.
Yes.
The shop is great, but
Yes.
the hospitality wasn't there.
And I agree.
I
Last time I was there, it had just grown. They're more of a gaming and collectibles store,
Mhm.
and they are really nice to their regulars. New people they don't have time for, which is a shame.
And a lot of comic shops are kind of seeming that way sometimes now. You know, the old shop that I used to go to when I was out there in Dickinson area. Not going to give out any names, but the shop's not there anymore. And I
Oh,
think part of that,
that game shop that we went to.
yeah, they finally
Oh,
went under. But it was going downhill for years. We were friends with the owner, and dude's got a real dry sense of humor. So if you're not into that dry sense of humor, he just comes off as being a dick. Which he was a dick too sometimes, and especially to new people. But you
that's
know,
a shame.
it's
That's a shame. I think that's a bad business thing, like in
mhm.
general. Like you want to service your yes, if you have your regulars, you treat your regulars like like the best regular customers can. But like your new customers can become your regular customers. And to
Exactly.
that chaps my ass
Hmm.
when I hear about bad customer service for a new customer.
Yeah, like and so Comic Vault is going to be expanding. They bought out the store next door to them. They're going to be expanding. They're going to have way more inventory.
Congratulations to them.
Right now they're a kind of small shop. I would rather go to that small shop that doesn't have as much inventory than the other location, which has twice as much inventory, just because of the customer hospitality
Right.
alone. You know, I felt welcome there.
Yeah. No, I get it.
So
I get it,
that
man.
has a lot to do for people like me. It's a big thing.
Yeah. No, I get it. And I kind of like the comic book shop that we have here in town too. The very small shop, and homeboy thinks he is hawking gold there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, his pricing is fucking ridiculous.
Well,
The
it's probably
shop is
one of those
so
go somewhere else. Oh
small.
yeah, you
Yeah,
can't.
right. Well, fuck you. I can go on the internet. And I'm only like 2 hours away from a plethora of other comic book shops. And I really wish I kind of would have planned this year. I'm gonna try to do it next year for Free Comic
Yeah.
Book Day and plan and do. So I live 2 hours away from Tulsa, Oklahoma,
Hmm.
and between around Tulsa and Broken Arrow, there is about half a dozen comic book shops. And I think next year I'm gonna like get a hotel, spend the night before, wake up early, hit these comic book shops around Tulsa, and actually get free comic book day. Now we keep talking about the free comics that happen with comic book day. And if you haven't
Mhm.
experienced comic book day in a like a in a store environment or like a like real happening type of thing, you have people that come out as they cosplay, they
Yeah,
do yeah, they'll if it's a bigger location, they'll do trivia and giveaways, and it's a real like it gives an opportunity for new comic book readers and old comic book readers to be in the same place at the same time,
mhm,
celebrate comics and celebrate the geek culture, which is what I witnessed last year. Went to a like it was last year, I believe it was on May the 4th. So there was a Star Wars thing going on, and did a Star Wars trivia, and there was like all these vendors selling Star Wars stuff, and it was people who never been with Free Comic Book Day and Star Wars Day, and then old hands like coming in. So old geeks, new geeks, and kids, and it's really like a celebration day of I it could be like it's Geeks Hanukkah.
yeah. I mean, and for what it's
I
worth,
think
too, it
I think it
is
really could be. Yeah,
for you
if
know,
being a geek was a religion, this would be our Kwanzaa Hanukkah.
and it's not only that it's just about the customer outreach, but it's also about like the future of comics and where we're going. Every one of these comic books on Free Comic Book Day, it does have a lot of advertisements, but they're also telling you what's coming out in the future. So it's kind of like you have an idea of what to kind of plan for. Like the Godzilla breaks it down into three different
Right.
Godzilla stories that are going to be coming out this year, and it lets you know. It's kind of a heads up of like, hey, this is what's going on. So it's pretty good. It's really informative, and it's really a really great idea.
Right.
These free comic books, FYI, all of the free comic books, well,
I
almost every
love it.
single one of them is going to say at the top in big blue letters, Free Comic Book Day. At somewhere on here will say Free Comic Book Day. This comic right here and almost all these other comics aren't going to be comics that are going to be worth a shit ton of money.
No.
These aren't necessarily collectors. They're fun to read, and they're a way of informing you of, yeah, you may read this, but check this out. You might like these
Right.
titles too. And it's a way of engaging and demoing basically other comic books that you might like and be like, oh man, I never knew this was a thing. I'm gonna have to check this out now.
Right. And also
So
from different like and not only that, but it's from different publishers as well. So
mhm.
I've like so out of the four that are from this year, I only have one from a publisher I've ever heard of.
Really,
So I've got one
there's
image book. Yeah. Yeah.
there's actually a
So
lot
yeah. So
this
like
year that
I
I
got
didn't know about.
exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like this one book is from Vault. I never heard of Vault, Titan Comics, and then LD, which I don't even know what that is. But I now okay now if I enjoy these books, like okay, what else do they have available to them? Like I like
Yeah.
this IP. Like so, what else do they have going on? Um, so and it's a way to for us as consumers of this culture to
Hmm.
see what else is new out there. We can have McDonald's and Burger King, but there's this little sushi restaurant right over here that makes great rolls. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So,
You know,
with that
so
being
like,
said, you want to get into this? Let's start diving into these comics.
so I only have the four, and
Yeah, we're gonna do your
I
four
will be
first.
honest. Okay, so in all honesty, I haven't got a chance to check it out yet. There's a
Yeah,
lot of chaos going on here, and
yeah. So
which
I
is why
will.
I'm in my car.
Yeah,
Um,
it's cool. I'll
go
take
ahead.
the lead on this one, as I spent the last day and a half reading over 20 comics, which
Oh, one
may
more
not
thing I
seem
did get
much.
from,
Yeah, go ahead.
but that's a lot. One more thing I did get this year.
Oh God. Oh wow. That's
I got a
Hal
Hal
Jordan.
Jordan mask.
Yeah,
I
that's
got
Hal
a Hal
Jordan.
Jordan mask. Yeah.
I will say
it's actually
one
not
of the
Hal Jordan.
comics. Who is that then?
It's kind of a Kyle Rayner mask.
Okay.
It's not Kyle. Fuck it. It's Green Lantern. This is going
I
in a frame with my green.
I will say
with
one
my
of the
Green
comics,
Lantern collection.
One of the comics this year that surprised me the most, that I actually really enjoyed, was because of Green Lantern. We'll get to that though. First, let's do. You know what?
I think I know which one you're talking about too.
I'm just going to go in order based on the pictures that I have, just the way I have them in my computer. So first we have.
Let's do
Big
it.
Rig.
Let's do it and sell me on these books.
Okay. Big Rig.
Post Malone's Big Rig.
Written and created by Post Malone. The Dark Ages. Demon hordes plague Europe as hell invades Earth. Okay, now this comic here threw me for an amazing fucking loop, and I swear to God, I did not know when I started reading this comic that I didn't even see that it says Post Malone across the cover here. I didn't even see that. So this absolutely
I didn't either.
A curveball that blew me away.
The Big Rig, the 18-wheeler caught my eye. I was like, that's weird. Let's grab it.
Okay, so this takes place like a long time ago in a little rural town where it starts off, and these people, this guy is a worker. I think he's a welder or something like that. What was his name? Trucker. Well, Trucker's his name, but he's guy. He's a blue collar like smithy. And these demons are attacking this town. And these people start praying, and the demons are just like coming out left and right. And then all of a sudden, he picks up this hat. And as soon as he puts this hat on his head, this giant fucking 18-wheeler in like medieval century time just appears and smashes through. He gets in the rig and starts driving this big rig and killing these fucking demons and everything like that. It just, the art, I'll give the art in this comic. I'll give the art in this comic like and I'm being real critical with my stuff here. The art in this comic, I'm going to give it a 9. The story in this comic, I'm going to give the story arc in this comic, I'm going to give it an 8. And the likelihood of me reading this comic and continuing this is probably close to a 10. Now, this is the scene in which he puts the hat on.
The hat on?
Yeah, that's the scene in which he puts the hat on. And then let me see if I can find the scene real quick. This is the scene where the fucking 18-wheeler. Try to get this here. Where the 18-wheeler just crashes down out of the middle of nowhere. And it's just like, it's this freaking medieval century church, dude, and this truck just smashes through, and he puts the hat on, becomes the trucker, and just starts driving the truck over and killing demons. Which is where you get to this scene right here in the comic book, which is the cover. All in all,
that is crazy.
Vault Comics I've never heard of before. Post Malone, I never knew came up with comics.
Mm-mm.
I will 100% look forward to reading this again.
Hell yeah, dude! So, you notice that this demon in here looks like Eddie from
Iron Maiden.
Oh, is it Iron Maiden?
Yeah, Iron Maiden has Eddie the monster. Now, I will say this. The reason the art blew me away in this comic is because this looks like old school Todd McFarlane. Did you remember when like Todd
Oh
McFarlane
yeah.
was doing the animation for
Huh.
like Korn on the Follow the Leader album? Like a lot of this and
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
art style really reminds me of Todd McFarlane, and Todd McFarlane is probably one of my absolute favorite artists. So blew me away. I was absolutely amazed. All right, up next we
Nice.
have the Mighty Nine Origins. This is a comic that
Okay, so Mighty
I'm
Nine is
based on Critical Role. At least it
Critical
says
Role. Thank
Critical
you.
Role across the top. It's Dark Horse Comics.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know what's going on here in this comic because I don't know
Right.
who the Mighty Nine are. Can you inform me? Do you know what the Mighty Nine are? I know
Mm,
Vox Machina, but
I
I don't
what
know
I know
the
about
Mighty
him is
Nine.
I think the Mighty Nine is so so Vox Machina is the first story that they did when
Hmm.
they were playing D&D on Critical Role.
Yeah,
Mighty
and then they came out
Nine
with the
is
cartoon
the second
series.
season. So whole new
Okay.
characters. Yeah, but Vox Machina is based on the first series. Mighty Nine is a whole new story, whole new characters, I think. Um it's like their second story.
Okay.
Um, that's about it because I watched I when Vox Machina came out on Prime, the animated series, I started
Hmm.
like looking into like their actual gameplay on this. But I am not a Critical Role like fanboy. I know who they
Yeah,
are. I appreciate what they
I don't
do.
know.
I think it's awesome what they're doing for tabletop role playing.
Hmm.
Um, so this is interesting. This might actually be a nice jumping off point to get into the Mighty Nine, either watching the YouTube gameplay or if they get into the Mighty Nine animated series.
Okay. So we
But I
got the
do not
Mighty
know any.
Nine.
So it's a D&D game
Yeah.
in the Critical Role uh, universe.
So we got the Mighty Nine on Dark Horse
Mm,
Comics, written by Sam Maggs, art by Leonardo Sino. The art in the comic is I'm gonna give it like a 7. It's good art. It's just not
hmm
my art style that I prefer. It's good. It's just not what I prefer.
Sure.
The story, I'm gonna give the story a 3. If I
Really?
have, which I have no previous knowledge of the Mighty Nine. That being said, I need something
Right.
that's really going to hook me. The story
Right.
plot here in this short part is they go into a tavern and there's a play about Vox Machina and they're told they got to go 3 days north to some place. That's not a good enough. Why do they have to go there? Who the hell are these people? You know, like there's nothing is explained. It's very short. The story does nothing for me whatsoever. The likelihood of me reading this again is
Right.
probably a 1 or a 2. Just because if it doesn't hook me, I'm not
Mm,
interested. Um, now, as
sure.
the second part that's in here is called Black Hammer to Tomorrow, written by Jeff Lemire, and the art is by Letizia Caronisi. Now, this has
Now, Black Hammer is a comic that's been out for a while.
it is, and I found that out in the end of this. The art style kind of has
Right.
an old school Watchmen meets heavy metal, and I'm actually kind of interested in this.
Oh,
The
interesting.
the the art, I'm going to give the art a 7. Uh, the story, I'm going to give probably we're going to give that story an 8. He goes through the different eras
Wow.
of the heroes. He goes through the different eras of the villains. He goes through the evolution of certain heroes and what became of them and where it's going. And now it's where is this going to lead to? They do a really good
So
job.
it
It's got
gives
a
you a
really
really good
good hook.
introduction to the Black Hammer universe.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
And I've never heard of Black Hammer. And after
I've
reading
seen
that,
it. I like. I've seen it like stacked next to with like the Mike Mignola Hellboy stuff.
Okay. After it's got a little bit similar art style to his Hellboy. So I'm interested in it. I would like to see more about that. Let's see what we got next year. Okay. This I found interesting. Okay, so you got Jimmy Olsen's Super Cyclopedia by Gabe Soria and Sandy Jarrell. Okay. Now, Jimmy Olsen is like Superman's pal, and he's tired of being Superman's pal. He has this, like, I guess, superhero Pokédex thing, in which he's going around with superheroes, and he's basically he's Pokédexing the different superheroes by getting all of their information and putting it into these deals.
Sure.
And it's pretty interesting. It's old school Archie, kind of like old school
Nice.
Superman, almost Archie art style. I'm gonna give it like a 5 or a 4 because
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that art style. The
Sure.
backgrounds. There's no backgrounds. It's just color. So it's good. At the very end, leaves you with a really good hook though. And that hook is, this kid, he's pissed off because everybody wants to get to know him because they want to get to know Superman. They only care about him because he's friends with Superman. And Toy Boy
Yeah.
comes and steals him, and Toy Boy makes a 5-dimensional copy of his Super Cyclopedia, and in which he creates the Sinister Cyclopedia. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. What's he gonna do with the Sinister Cyclopedia? And that's where it leaves you. So that's a good hook. I would say the likelihood of me wanting to read this again, just based
Sure.
off the story alone, I'm gonna give it a 7. Like likelihood of me reading again, just because it's DC and I don't like the art, is probably gonna be about a 4 or 5, just because the art is a big thing. But story alone is
Sure.
great. I will say that. And
Oh,
there's a
sounds fun.
tip. There's something I noticed in this comic too, and I think I have a picture of it. Let me see, because I wonder if they did this on purpose. Okay, so I have a picture of this. In each one of the frames where he's introducing people,
Okay.
see here it says the Martian Manhunter. See entry Martian Manhunter.
All right.
Here you've got Green Lantern. See entry Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
It goes this way throughout each members of the
Sure.
Justice League. Now, when it says Batman, there's no entry.
Ooh.
He's the only one without an entry, and I wonder if it's because like Superman's always scheming and he's up to something, or if like I don't know, but he is the only person of the Justice League that does not have C entry Batman. I thought that was pretty cool, and I don't know if they did
That's
that
funny.
on purpose for foreshadowing or just because it's like it's Batman. I have no entry, like type deal.
It's Batman.
So
He's not going to give you any information.
exactly. So I loved that little
Well,
caveat right there.
that's
I thought
cool.
that was cool.
I love
Um,
that version of Hal Jordan. That's very. Oh my God, what is that? There was a comic book series that came out, and DC did an animated movie on it. New Frontier,
okay.
animation style.
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance, while you have HBO streaming, check out Justice League New Frontier. The
Hmm.
art is very reminiscent of this, but I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Um,
I might check it
that's
out.
fun. That's fun.
So this comic blew me away. Superman's Good Guy Game
Really?
by DC Comics,
Okay, so the 5-year-old got this.
ages 5 to 7. Okay. By Rob Justu or Justice. I don't know. Justus. Now, it's got Guy Gardner, and it's the best
Right.
version of Guy Gardner. And the very first panel, okay, you've got Superman and Guy Gardner. They're flying around, and Superman's like, "There's the cause," and he's like, "We need to stop this madness." And then Guy Gardner says, "Look, she's stealing those puppies," and then he says, "She's probably going to eat them." It's just campy kid humor, and I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed this book. It's meant for 5-year-olds,
That's cool.
and the
Sure,
whole
it's kind of like
time,
a Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
yeah, a Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and it's the banter between Superman and Guy Gardner, like throughout the whole comic. Almost, they're trying. Guy Gardner's trying to come up with a superhero name for their duo. You like Green Team Go, and then so Superman's like, "How about Super Supers?" And Guy Gardner's like, "Dude, are you even trying?" And he's like, "Fuck it, let's just save the day." Krypton, Concrete Crushers. Like he's trying to come up with all these names, and the banter between the two of them are actually really campy, really fun, and I loved it. This was actually one of my favorite comics. Now the art, it's silly humor. I love the art for silly humor. I'm gonna give it like an 8. The story, the story alone, just because of the banter, I'm gonna give it like a 7. Now, this is the part that's going to throw people off. The likelihood of me reading again, because it's a kid's comic and it's DC, is probably pretty low, probably about like a 4. But
Oh, okay.
regardless, this was fun. This was a very fun read. I enjoyed it. In the
That's
back of
awesome.
it,
That's so. This is in my house right now. I will read it.
dude, you got to read it. It's great. Now, in the back of it, by Ben Clanton, is Aquamantity. Aquamantity.
Okay.
Yeah. It's about
All
like a
right.
manatee with like identity crisis. Like I don't understand what's going on. And he makes all these cow puns because he's a sea cow. It's
See cow.
yeah, like he's like it's incredible, cowabunga. I've got the moves, and it's very childish, but I did not enjoy it. But
Mm,
Superman's good guy gang was
it's a kid's
hilarious.
book.
No, yeah, Superman's good guy gang I enjoyed.
Nice.
Uh
What's that? Do you have
it's a
a King? Okay.
fuck.
So I avoided this book. I saw it and I was like, nope.
I read it. I got it. I read all of these. Like I said, regardless of whether or not it was good or bad. So Kanga
Okay.
U follows the adventure of Hoppa, Skippa, Ruth, and whatever the other fucking kangaroos' names are. Um, and it's their journey to go through this big tournament because apparently, and I didn't know this because I avoid DC comics because they're stupid, because apparently Amazonians get kangaroos that they
Yeah.
ride into war.
Wonder Woman
Well,
has a kangaroo. Yeah.
yeah, so that's Princess Diana right there in the very front. Not the one that died, the Wonder Woman, Princess Diana.
Sure.
Not- that was a little
In the
sorry.
context. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're basically competing to go through this tournament and to see who's gonna become her kangaroo. The names, like I said, completely original names, like Hoppa and Skippa. Come on, dude. Come on. It's the
It's for
art.
kids.
Apparently it's for ages 8 and up. DC Comics by Shali Fish and Yancey Labatt. I did not enjoy this comic at all. The art is decent. I'll give the art a 6. The story is, and this is just my opinion, the story's dumb as fuck. The likelihood of me reading this again will be a 1.
Okay. Now, give this to a kid for free
Oh, and they'll love it.
An 8-year-old, they'll love it, and
Yeah.
they'll either want more or they'll
Hmm.
be more intrigued to go back into a comic book store and pick up
Hmm.
other comics.
I agree. Again, these are my reviews
I know. I'm just
from my perspective.
this is a gateway comic.
Yeah,
This is a gateway comic for new readers, younger readers, to get them into comic books in general.
I get that.
Put down the goddamn iPad and pick up a comic.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it. I really do. So this one, damn it, where is it? Go figure. It's last on the pile. Okay, so we have Godzilla New Heroes.
I picked this up specifically because it was Godzilla and I love you. So I wanted to pick up a comic book that I knew you would wind up getting somehow or another, and that it would be something that we both have read.
Yeah.
I haven't read it yet. I'm looking at the art. Oh, it's fun.
So it says like UD, but it's actually IDW Publishing. That's the
Oh,
publishers.
that's what that.
IDW. Yeah, it's IDW.
I
It's
know
hard.
IDW. They changed their
Yeah,
logo.
they did.
Okay.
So New Heroes is a tale of three short Godzilla stories. You've got Godzilla, Godzilla Escape the Dead Zone, and Starship Godzilla. Starship Godzilla, written by Chris Ghosh and art by Oliver Ono. It has start it involves people stealing these eggs, kaiju eggs, and then leaving from their starship, and their starship that crashes down to them so they can get an expeditious retreat is actually like Mecha Godzilla, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Godzilla, the new series, written by Tim Seeley, art by Nicola. I can't pronounce that last name. It's got all sorts of weird shit going on. Like Kismasia or I don't know. Is the story of New York. Godzilla is destroying shit. We've got Jet Jaguar who can only speak while using phrases from his theme song. It's actually kind of campy and funny. Then we got a bunch of other people from G-Force, and we got the Riviera G-Force commander, and they get a new member because he got shot, straight up blasted by Godzilla's breath beam, and he took it like a champ, a normal human being, and he took it like a champ. There's actually a scene which Godzilla kind of looks like, what the fuck, and he looks afraid a little bit. It's a new person, JC and Braid, and he thinks he's going to kill Godzilla.
I didn't know
Godzilla,
Jet Jaguar was human sized.
Yeah, he's human sized, but he can grow really large.
Is that in the movie?
Yeah, it's in the original series, and it's in the there was a cartoon based off of it too, off of Jet Jaguar. It's a new revision of it, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'm gonna have to check that out because I've always seen Jet Jaguar, but I didn't know the story. We haven't gotten there as far as us when we started exploring the kaiju stuff.
We did. We mentioned Jet Jaguar.
Okay, cool. That's fun.
That was the big team up in the famous handshake between Jet Jaguar and Godzilla. Yeah, they teamed up and they were actually working together.
Oh.
So Godzilla Escape the Dead Zone, written by Ethan Parker and Griffin Sheridan, art by Pablo Tunica. I'm actually really intrigued about this. It follows a guy called the Warden. I'm sorry, the Wanderer. It follows a story about a guy called the Wanderer who looks like he has a big tail and he can grow his claws, and he has no fear of the creatures in the Dead Zone. And other people are just shocked by this guy called the Wanderer, and he tames this big, large, nasty-looking beast, and he's just riding it around. The art is kind of gross and awesome. This right here, I love the art style. I love every one of these stories.
Hold that back up. Hold it back up. Oh yeah.
It's got like a Pit Max vibe to it.
Yeah, no, I
So it's
see that.
really cool. I dig it. I dig all the stories in here. I'm gonna quit doing the ranking because we're already at an hour. Likelihood
I
of
didn't want
reading
to say
those
anything.
again, very high. What do we have next on the list? We'll go through some of these
You
actually
can
pretty quick. We're gonna go through some of these. We'll do
okay,
some of these pretty quick. How about that?
okay. Add it
All right.
back to the stage.
Image
Okay, I
Comics.
really wish I would have grabbed that.
It turns out this is actually a old series.
Right.
And I
This
was
is a
reading
Scotty Young series, isn't it?
don't we lie to you? Yes, this is Scotty Young and Friends. There are 6 volumes of I Hate Fairyland. This story
Nice.
here is basically her talking about her last 27 years in a brief summary as to why she fucking hates Fairyland. It's kind of gory. It's got a Calvin and Hobbes kind of a feel to it, like the art style. It's the same artist that did Wizard of Oz, and I love the art. I love the story. I love everything about this. If you have
Yep.
a crude sense of humor, I Hate Fairyland by Image Comics. I will 100% be looking up and picking up some of these volumes. I
I
can tell you
love
that right
Scotty
now.
Young, dude. I love his art style, his humor.
Oh yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
great.
Yeah, awesome.
So let's see. Next we have um this was a children's how to read comic book. It
Oh, that's okay.
literally goes through how to read comic books. Storyline
That's
is dumb,
amazing.
but this is for children. It's a children
Yeah,
introduction as to how to read comics, and just because it's for children and trying to get children into reading comics, I love it. Uh, from standpoint, the art's kind of dumb and silly, and the story sucks, but again, it's for children. So I love the fact that it's for kids.
right. And it's based on Spidey and his Amazing Friends, which is an animated series for little ones, getting them into the Marvel universe.
Correct. Damn, did I just put that one up there?
Okay.
Oh yeah, I did.
Marvel
Okay,
Voices.
so Marvel Voices.
All right. So let's see there. See,
This follows Mystique. It's 3 stories about shit. No, this one has more than 3. So the main stories in this is about Ironheart and Wormhole and going back in time. It has a story about T'Challa and his grandkids and his relationship with Storm. It has a story about the wedding of Mystique and someone named Janet or something. I don't know.
oh,
Irene.
yeah.
It's about a wedding between her and Irene, and Irene is just like, I can't. And it leaves you with the to be continued there. So it's like, okay.
Destiny. That's Destiny.
Oh shit, that's Destiny?
Yeah.
Oh, now it makes sense why Mystique was so pissed off when Legion killed her. I didn't know they were married. I didn't read
Yeah.
that part. Okay. I thought they were just
Okay. So
friends.
yeah, like De-
What?
Destiny and Mystique are like, no, it's okay. It's okay. Like
I didn't know.
they're old time lovers. They've like, and like the one of the biggest things that was in the Krakoa era of X-Men, one of the more recent eras of X-Men, was that they didn't want psychics available or people who can tell a future on Krakoa. So Destiny, they wouldn't resurrect Destiny until Mystique blackmailed them to allow Destiny
Okay.
to be born, to be resurrected, and she had a seat on the council, and that's about where I stopped reading because I want to read more. I just want to focus on it, and I haven't gotten back to it.
Okay.
So that's awesome. So
That's
this
all
is
it
about
is.
women and lesbian like voices. I love this. Okay,
I
no,
mean,
hey, that's I
I
love
like
it.
the art style. I love the art in actually all of these. I'm not a fan
Hmm.
of Ironheart. I don't really follow Ironheart. I really don't follow Mystique. She has her own comics. I don't follow them. This is one I'm a little
Hmm.
interested in. Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes, special number 1. So there is a Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes, in this comic here, and there's a chick with blue flame hair, a weird whip, and blue flames coming off of her and roller skates. I don't know who the fuck this chick is. She's kind of cool, but the
She's
roller skates throw me for a loop, and I don't like the
I
roller
think
skates.
she's the new Ghost Rider, or she's the new. I think she might be the new Spirit of
Well,
Vengeance.
so the thing is on the very next page, her and Ghost Rider are together. Robbie Reyes. As you see right over
Right.
here, you got Robbie Reyes here, and you got the weird blue roller skating chick over here. I don't know what's going on. They
Right.
fight some hell demons, and then it ends.
All right. Well, now I would definitely want to check that out. I am a Ghost Rider fanboy.
Yeah, I know you are. We also have
Yeah.
from Kahori, Reshaper of the Worlds number 1, in which Loki goes to Skyworld and tries to siphon its power. Hori tries to stop him, and he uses his power, and they go to New York City and Earth 616 present day. So
Hmm.
it's an interesting take. I'm not a fan of the art style. Looks kind of World of Warcrafty, like old school World of Warcrafty.
Hmm.
But all in all, there's several different reads in this. The best one being the Ghost Rider one. I don't really particularly care for the rest, even though Loki looks like a badass. That was a lot in that one. See, that's why I couldn't do all the freaking reviews and write down all the people. I'd be
Sure.
reading 20 minutes for just that one.
Sure. No, I get it.
Did you get this one?
No, I didn't even see
Okay,
this one.
this one's actually really funny. And
Is it?
now I'm gonna check. Yes, it is part of 2025. So
Okay.
they are trying to test some new teleporter, and
Hmm.
they end up. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay, see these little people right here? These little
Hold on a second.
aliens. They end up on an alien planet, and there's these tiny little
Yep.
adorable alien creatures. Come to find out, these alien
Uh-huh.
creatures are kids, and they're having a sleepover. And during the sleepover, they made a little seance, and the seance just happens to be this polyhedric configuration deal that a semi-regular polytope that basically when people transport using teleporters, it's a some sort of thing that they made that actually makes people go there instead of their location. They thought they were trying to summon
Okay.
demons, and it's literally these children making it doing this. And before they get to ruin the portal, somebody else uses a teleporter somewhere, and it's these big ass giant Cthulhu esque demons creatures. So they have to send them back through the
Jesus.
portal, and then they tell the kids at the very end that they're like, "Look, dude, don't fucking use this portal again. Don't do this again. Every time y'all do this, it's gonna cause havoc." And then, so literally the next fucking night, these kids do the portal thing, and then Ben Grimm shows up, and he's like, "I knew y'all were gonna try that shit again." And he's like, "Look." He basically goes and tattles on them, tells their parents, and then he's just like, "Tell you what, go get your parents, and then if y'all want, y'all can come to our world and have fun." It's called Strange New World or whatever. It's a pretty fun, interesting read. I don't know where it's going though. But it was funny.
That's
Little
fun.
kids had a sleepover and were trying to summon demons, and they summoned the Fantastic Four. Oh
That's
man.
awesome.
This one threw me for a loop because of how good it was.
I
This
saw
is
this and I was like, okay, I'm not interested in starting anything in the Ultimate Universe right now.
well, so this is Amazing Spider-Man and Ultimate Universe. Two different comics in this one. The Amazing Spider-Man is really good. It involves the friendship between Norman Osborn and Peter Parker, and somebody trying to kill Norman, and he's trying to solve the mystery of who's trying to kill him.
Sure.
I will say the Ultimate Universe is what I'm actually interested in, and this is strange because I'm not a fan of Miles Morales. Now, do
Right.
you know who the creator is, right?
Yes, it's Reed.
Yep. So the very beginning of this comic, you've got Reed that has come to him and he's like, "You're my brother." And he's like, "You're my brother because you're the only other person from our universe." And he gives him a card and he says, "If you need me or you want to summon me and you choose to go with me, here's my card." And it's a blank card. And then it goes through different stories of the bullshit that Miles Morales has been through. And at the very end of it, he's looking at the card and he's tired of all this bullshit that he's been through and he's contemplating it, but then his mom comes by or whatever, the girl comes by with the baby and he's like, "Shit, I've got responsibilities here, I can't do this." He throws the card in the trash can. The card the card levitates up out of the trash can next to the little girl baby, and it looks like she's going to grab
Oh,
the card and go with Reed.
oh
And
shit.
that's where it ends.
Oh,
So, I'm pretty intrigued.
okay.
So
I like.
I
I'm
like
not
that.
ready to get into the Ultimate Universe stuff. I like.
Neither am I.
It's so much. It's so dense. It's so different. I know it's supposed to be really fucking awesome. I'm not ready for those big changes yet. It's not a
Yeah.
commitment I'm ready for to get into the ultimate stuff. But
Not
I do know about it. I know about the creator and Reed. I would love a creator action figure.
Oh god, that would
Give
be
me a
so
Marvel Legends
awesome.
creator, right? Um, so that's awesome.
All right, you
Oh
want me
man,
to
that would be
just
a great Marvel. That would be a great Marvel Unlimited figure.
it would be.
You
Hmm.
know, that would be like
Definitely. I would like that.
fucking perfect for a Marvel Unlimited figure.
Yep,
Fuck.
I would definitely love that one.
All right,
All right.
let's blast through some more of these.
Okay. Mega Man. Mega
Mega
Man was
Man.
really fun. It wasn't the Mega Man that I was expecting. Basically, a bunch of robots reminisced about their fights with Mega Man and realized that, oh shit, we're the bad guys. Mega Man's the good guy. Another big robot tries to fight Mega Man, and then the other robots jump in and they're like, hey, we're going to help Mega Man out. It's a cute little story of Mega Man. So
Fun.
it was nice. I liked it. I'll probably read it maybe some more. I don't know. I'm a big Mega Man fan. Um, there's a couple comics in this one. One particular, there's The Past is Prologue, Legacy of Vini, and The Moon of Death. One of them is just, you got Luke Skywalker trying to fight people, I don't really know what was going on with this one. It's him and some girl that are teamed up together and they're trying to find people that are stealing shit. Um, the one that I'm looking forward to the most is Castle Vader, in
Mm.
which it doesn't follow Lord Vader. It follows his caretaker. And it blew me
Oh,
for a loop. It's amazing. It talks about how like he would be punished when he was wrong, but he learned from his mistakes, and he was the perfect caretaker, and he took care of him even when like he was the only person around Vader when he was most vulnerable, and still never did anything about it. And through the ages after Vader died, he believed that he would come back. He kept everything clean. He kept it locked down. He kept his castle protected, and he waited so long that he had to basically become a cyborg and engineered his body, into mechanics so that he can prolong his life. And at
Oh
the very end
wow.
of it, when he was about ready to give up hope, he discovers Kylo Ren.
Oh, 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 I want to
So,
read that.
so the art is pretty amazing. The storyline is absolutely amazing. The hook is there, and I really, 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 really want to read it. The third story is about Corliss Wrath, the assassin that's trying to kill Qui-Gon, and them trying to figure out why this guy's trying to kill him.
Sure.
I'm more curious about than anything about the castle, Vader's castle, and the projector.
Uh, I am intrigued. I want to read that. That sounds
So,
like fun.
Young Jedi. It's a kids novel. It's about kids training
Hmm.
with Yoda. That's really all it is.
Yep. There's an
It's
animated series and toy store about this.
Yeah, I have no idea who any of these people are or why they're so young and already have lightsabers, but they do. And then there's a story from
It.
Avatar. Go ahead.
Yeah. No,
Go
no.
ahead.
Young Jedi. This is like Spidey and his friends. That other like Spider-Man comic that you showed earlier. The kids one
Yeah.
like how to read comics. This is
Mhm.
like this is Star Wars version of that IP. Of
It
like
very much so. It
here's
talks about team
these are
building.
kids. Yep, and here's these values and good stuff for kids that need to learn with having the sheen of Star Wars over it.
Mhm.
Um, it's a gateway Star Wars.
Yeah. And the second story follows Appa and Momo from Avatar, in which they can talk, they have armor, they're battle clad, they fight, and then at the very end of it, um, the kid wakes up and it was all a dream. So
Oh,
I mean, it was a bit womp womp. None of that happened.
do
So
you like Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I actually do. I like Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's
Did you
pretty
like the
fun.
live action season,
The movie about interpretive dancing or the TV show?
the TV show?
Okay, the TV show was amazing. The M Night Shyamalan was
I
shit.
need I want to rewatch it just to make sure it's as bad as I think it is. But I can't wait for season 2. I am an Avatar, and we also know that there's going to be a third series coming out now too, uh,
Mhm.
about the post Korra Avatar.
Yeah, see, I haven't gotten that far into it. What I have seen, I do like.
Right, nice,
So,
nice.
moving right along, we
Yep,
have
this is in my house. Okay,
okay, throw it in the trash.
okay, fair enough. On to the
it's
next.
it's
On.
literally a big commercial and product placement about them trying to sell you on Tamagotchis. There's prices for everything in the back, and it's just they're trying to bring back Tamagotchi, and it's not working for me. It's not even a comic book. It's all advertisement about Tamagotchis. This one really intrigued me, and I had to take this picture because this is the comic book art. But if you open it up, it's one of the few comic books nowadays that actually makes a whole picture front and back.
I
So
love this universe. I am so glad that this is here.
this follows a robot whose name I have forgotten, who runs into Clutch. Clutch and Tracker, or another guy. Clutch and Tracker repair the robot, and the robot is like, "Where did y'all get that energon?" Because Clutch hit him with an energon bomb. Um, and Clutch apparently has some energon in like a raw form or whatever that he's trying. They're trying to figure out how the Cobras, Destro and them, the Cobra Commander, got them. Cobra Commander at the very end of it, they used to follow Destro, so I'm guessing Destro's dead in this. Cobra Commander is in charge, and there's somebody that Cobra Commander runs into whoever this guy is at the very end. Whoever this guy is, Cobra Commander is in utter fear of this man. That's Cobra Commander down there cowering before this man.
That's a dreadnought. That's
Yeah.
oh god, Torch.
So
No, that's one of the dreadnoughts. These are okay. So the dreadnoughts action figures are out. Like these are badass fucking dudes. They work for Cobra, but not really. These are also the band. This is the band guys.
So the page before it, this is where you see Cobra Commander in fear of his life, trying to escape that guy.
Yeah, dude. The Dreadnoughts are like mercenaries for Cobra, but they're fucking.
These mercenaries are officially taking over Cobra. This was actually a very good read, and I really liked it.
Awesome, that's exciting.
I don't do Transformers. This one blew me away. This is Sky something and Image Comics.
Skybound
Entertainment and Image Comics.
This is it. This is what I've been trying to get you to read. Yep. With Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Void Rivals, this universe is amazing. And the fact that the action figures for G.I. Joe is right there, and I absolutely love this.
Yeah. Okay, so did you get this one? Please tell me you got this one.
I did not. I saw it, but I put it back.
Oh no!
This is
probably one of my favorite comics out of this entire thing. It follows the little guy named Ballpoint. Ballpoint is a transformer who transforms into a ballpoint pen, who thinks that he is Megatron's best friend, who comes up with all the world's best schemes. Every accomplishment that the Decepticons have ever done has been because of Ballpoint in his perception and world of view. Everybody else thinks that he's dumb. Everybody else hates him, and everybody else talks shit to his face. His best friend is called Smoothie, which is a smoothie machine that is not a Decepticon, and he just thinks that he's quiet.
That's awesome.
It's hilarious.
My God. Okay.
It's hilarious, and I love it.
When I get out tomorrow.
Yeah.
When I get out tomorrow, I'm going to go back to the comic book store that I don't like, and I will go there and see if they still have this.
If they do,
I will go check that out.
You 100% have to read this one. It was by far my favorite read in the entire time. I was laughing from one end to the next reading this. Ballpoint is officially the worst thought ever, but he is my favorite. The last one is 4 books in one by IDW again. Breath, the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Spring. I don't know what's going on. It seems like somebody's gone missing, but it's a world in which all the people are animals.
Weird.
Yeah, all the people are animals. And this duck's brother has gone missing, and they're like, look, we're tired of dealing with your shit. He's been missing for 8 years. I don't know. It's dumb. I don't like the art. I don't like the story. The second deal in here is 30 Days of Night, Falling Sun, which I'm actually really intrigued with. I have several 30 Days of Night comics, and I'm curious where this one goes. This one has to do with the resurrection of Vladimir. I just don't know who this Vladimir guy is, and he comes back, and I don't know. The third story in here is Tuatha, and Tuatha has a Princess Mononoke and Ninja Scroll feel to it. You see this? The first 2 pages or whatever, there's no words. It literally is like a comic, I feel, from Princess Mononoke. And then all of a sudden there's this big battle. There's this big battle in the river. They fight. This chick's dog just bites a dude's head off. The art is amazing. I have no idea where it's going, and honestly, I do want to read more.
Fantastic.
The last one is Blood Honey. The art is like Archie comics. It has to do with a cheerleader and her boyfriend, who is a sword fighter guy. They they end up doing their own little fight thing, and then they love each other. I don't get the storyline. I don't know what it's about. It's dumb, and the art is dumb. Just being brutally honest.
Fair.
So 2 of 4
Not
in this
everything's for
comic.
everybody.
2 of 4 were really good. Didn't really care for them. Check out Tuatha. I'm really, really interested. This one is Tuatha right here. I have no idea what's really going on there, but
Okay.
it's seems really cool.
And this is from IDW.
IDW, all 4 of those.
Okay.
So there you have it. I tried to go through that as quick as I could. I'm sorry.
You did fine. You missed.
It's a good thing we didn't do all that other shit.
Conan's Scourge of the Serpent. No, right? We missed this one. I picked this one up because it's, for some reason, I've been on a really weird, like, barbarian, wizard, sorcerer, fire and ice, Frank Franzetta type of kick lately. Conan fits right into that. So I'm going to check that out.
You got to next episode, you got to let me know how that one is, because I'm really interested.
I will actually read this one, and the art looks pretty cool. But we'll get into the story, and I'll check it out. Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. Thank you for going through all of that. Thank you for checking out all those books and doing all that homework. I really appreciate you carrying the load on this week's episode.
Absolutely, I had fun.
I've got books too. But they're from last year, so I don't know.
We might have to go through.
I'm so glad you actually read. I'm so glad that you did go through, or that you did read the Energon stuff. I've been on you about trying to read those it seems like over a year now.
You have, and
so I'm glad you got an opportunity to dip your toe in there. It's fun stuff. Yeah, and then we have all.
I was very pleased with what I read in Energon. Yeah,
nice.
I was very pleased with Energon, but Ballpoint takes the money.
Ballpoint takes the money.
Ballpoint 100% takes the money. Best comic book from Comic Book Day.
Oh my god! I'm sorry. I'm just having a little technical difficulty here. While I'm in the car, my power came out.
Oh no, we can't have that.
Yeah. So I have the extension cord running from the garage out to the car so that I can record this. Thank you so much for doing that, Freak. I really do appreciate that. I love this holiday. This is our new holiday that we've had for a couple of years. There's free comic book day. There's also free game day, which comes out too with a. You'll see that in gaming stores. They'll like test and have new and free tabletop role playing games. Again, this is about community building and getting the next generation in and involved. So thank you to all the brick and mortar comic book stores that are still out there. They're still trying to build our community, build it back. Put down the iPads unless you're reading Marvel Unlimited. But don't forget about your brick and mortar stores. Pick up those floppy books. Pick up your graphic novels, or even go to your local library and pick out some news stories for you and for your kids. I could recommend that more. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for viewing. Please comment, subscribe. Let us know what your favorite books were from Free Comic Book Day. Send us some pictures of what you and yours did for Free Comic Book Day to celebrate. We would love to see it. We would love to share it. Please drop it in our DMs or tag us, OATFTG, all across social media. Thank you so much. Thank you for
and please feel free to share your favorite comic book stores. If you got some free comic book shop or some good comic shops near you, post it in the comments. Let us know. Love to give them the heads up. Love and give
Or
a
if
shout
you
out.
own or operate or work at a comic book store, let us know about your crew, and we would love to give you guys a shout out. If opportunity ever happens, we would love to come check you out, or we will send our other viewers to go check you guys out. We sure would appreciate it. Thank you so much for viewing. Thank you so much for watching. For the Freak, I'm OZ. That was Free Comic Book Day, and we've been talking geek.
Yep.
Oh, I have to hit the end button now. From my lap. I'm going to miss it.
I'm going to miss you and your Ghost Hunter setup, because that's what looks like it's about to go.
Spooky.
The end.
End it.